Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and welcome back to Planet Zoo in Wildlife World. And I got a bit of a different video for you today. Well, the video is the same, but the format is slightly different because this video is in one giant time-lapse video. There's no real-time gameplay at the end, and the reason for that is because this build that I'm working on was so massive that it just could not be contained in a single video. So I split it up into two videos. So we have this video here, which is it's mostly just gonna be the interior of the building, obviously the designing and the framing of it and everything. And then the next video will be more focusing on adding all the details on the exterior of the building. But so this section, we are in the African area of our zoo, and that back there in the background is our hippo habitat, and then kind of like behind the camera, the way it's facing right now, is our giant safari habitat, which you guys have not seen yet, and that'll be in the next video. But kind of in between those two habitats, I wanted to make another sort of like little kind of Main Street-ish kind of area, just a bunch of like some shops and just buildings and whatnot. But one thing I wanted to do, because I do like making like functional interior buildings, so I wanted to make sort of like what I'm calling an education center. So the guests can go in and they can like kind of read up and learn about all different kinds of animals, or obviously Planet Zoo does have a focus on education as well. So we have these education boards that have all different kinds of topics and things, so the guests can come in and read up on those. And I just thought it'd be a lot of fun to make this just like kind of massive building that not only looks cool, but is actually functional. You know what I mean? So the guests can actually walk in here and they can read all of the education boards. I put I believe it was a cosmic cow in here as well, and like a couple little picnic benches, so people can get a snack and stuff too while they're getting their education. But if you've seen any of my other builds where I do like interiors, I kind of like to, what I say, bring like nature, or bring the outside indoors. So I did that as well. So I wanted this building to be mostly glass, so that when you're inside you can still see outside, and then when you're outside you can see inside. And then all along where all the glass windows are, which is pretty much the entire part of the building, is almost all glass, with the exception of one little area that we'll see here in a minute. But I outlined it with those like flower beds, and then you'll see we kind of fill those out later. But there's the cosmic cow, and I kind of struggled a bit with the I guess like general shape of the building. I wasn't quite sure how I wanted it to be, and I don't know, for me it's like I don't really consider myself like a master builder, so sometimes that stuff kind of it doesn't like come as naturally to me as it like placing scenery and things like that. If you've watched any of my live streams, if you've ever stopped over on my Twitch channel, you know how much I love just placing rocks and trees and all kinds of stuff. And that to me is, I don't know why, that comes way more naturally. I guess, I don't know. I'm not an architect. I don't study buildings. I probably maybe should pay more attention to how buildings look like in the real world. I honestly don't do that, and that's probably a downfall in why, I don't know, I just feel like I'm not like the best builder when it comes to making buildings. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe you disagree, maybe you agree, whatever, but in the end it usually comes out looking pretty good. So I usually am pretty happy with the end result. But yeah, this is the Cosmic Cow, and I wanted to theme out the front of it and make it look, you know, pretty interesting. It's not like I didn't just want the wood walls there kind of being around it and all that stuff. And then here, this was pretty fun. So I wanted to make like a little, I don't know what they call them in the zoos, but like those little kind of water, like aquarium things, I guess, you know, where you can actually go up and like you can touch the animals and like it's really shallow. So to do that, I just made a really tiny little habitat. That's literally what that is. It's just the habitat walls, and then you can put water inside of them. So that's what I did. Again, in my building, I get sidetracked and I move from one thing to another. It's kind of why you're like, well, why did you start that and then stop? But so this is again doing more of the flower beds, kind of going along the outer walls there, and you know, like I said, we'll finish those out. We'll fill them out kind of like a little bit later here. But yeah, so like this little, you know, pool thing, whatever aquarium thingy that you want to call it, I did want to, you know, theme it a little bit. This is in the African area of our zoo, so the majority of this building has like an African theme, just trying to keep with where the building is in the zoo. It still has a little bit of like a modern feel, at least like the modern, if you've seen the rest of the zoo, it's like I kind of made up my own little like generic theme for Wildlife World, which is this like modern / rustic view or theme. And so that's what this building kind of has as well, but it's like all the details and everything have a very heavy like African theme to it. And then yeah, here just doing more of the flower beds. I use these mulch pieces, which I'm so glad that they added those to the game. I kind of wish Planet Coaster had them, because they're pretty cool. And then yeah, so here we go. I'm just now going through and I'm filling out all the little flower beds around the perimeter there. You can see added more education boards, added some sculptures like lions and the elephants and the gorillas. In the little kid zone, I added the little it's like the little dodo one. I don't know if dodos were in Africa or not. I should probably look that up, but it doesn't really matter. It's not, I'm not gonna be super strict on where the sculptures are from, you know, but anyway, I thought it looked cool. And then here, so yeah, just filling it out. I wanted to actually get some flowers in there, because I feel like that's one thing that I don't add enough of, kind of like in the more decorative parts of the zoo, is adding in more flowers. So I tried to do that and make it, I think it looks pretty nice. It's not like overly done, at least in my opinion. You can let me know, but I think it looks pretty good. It's you know, it's pretty simple. And I found these other little plants I don't think I've ever seen before, and I was like, oh, I just want to add those kind of scattered around in the flower bed there. And then this is the custom roof I made. I wanted it to kind of be curved, and I don't know, I couldn't get the shape I wanted with the kind of like pre-made roof pieces. But there you go, you can kind of see the whole building right there. It's not totally complete, but here we are. I'm just finishing off like the roof and getting all of that good to go, because you know, obviously it's gotta have a roof, right? but yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for this time lapse. Like I said, this is just part 1, so part 2 will be coming up shortly, where we will be decorating the exterior of the building. Plus I'll have the usual real-time gameplay where I'll also show you the giant safari habitat that's right on the other side of that. So be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. I am 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.